Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to our first episode of the second season of a Focus on Eye Health podcast. We have a special guest with us, and that is CEO and President of Prevent Blindness, Jeff Todd, who is going to talk to us a little bit about what the organization has been doing over 2025 and some of the things we can look forward to in 2026. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Just for people who may not be familiar, if you were to give just a real short summary of what Prevent Blindness is and does, what would you tell folks?
Sure, happy to do so. Yeah, Prevent Blindness is a national patient advocacy organization. What that means is that we work on behalf of and with patients, eye care patients, eye care consumers, to make sure that eye health is at the forefront of our national healthcare policies, and that we're providing education and awareness to everyone about how they can best care for their eyes. We've been around for over 100 years doing this work. We do it with an eye to advocacy, to education. We're always collaborating with other partners, and we're always engaging patients in the work that we do.
All right. Thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about 2025. What are some of the things that really stood out for you and some of the things that are new?
Yeah, 2025 was a busy year. It seems they all are lately, but we were, I think, particularly prolific this past year. One of the things that we launched that I'm really excited about is our new Diabetes in the Eyes initiative. We established a new advisory committee to help advise us, and we created an audio library so people can call in and ask a number of questions and get information about diabetes and how it impacts the eyes. We've also continued the great work of our National Center for Children's Vision and Eye Health, which is helping make sure that kids can access eye care all across the country. It serves as a technical assistance center, a training center, works with our affiliates and other program partners to help impact children's vision across the country, but also we have global impact because we do reach countries outside of the U.S. as well. And the National Center also published a paper to help better understand how to conduct vision screenings and have a couple other papers in the works. From an advocacy standpoint, we continue to be very active in Washington. We have a bill in Congress right now that we're hoping to pass in the next year or two. It was introduced in the House of Representatives earlier this year, and it's called the Early Detection of Vision Impairments for Children Act. And what it would do is provide funding to the states to implement programs to better address children's vision and eye care. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to get that passed next year, but it's really a much needed initiative for children's eye care and for this country. Our main focus in Washington is really to make sure that anytime we're talking about healthcare, we're also talking about eye care. Too often we talk about healthcare, we don't think about how the eyes are so important as a part of someone's overall health. And so that's a big part of our purpose, is to make sure that the eyes are at the table when we're talking about healthcare.
Okay, very good. And we will put that number that you can call for the information about diabetes eye care in the show notes. Now, I'd also like to ask you very quickly, can you tell us some of the things that you've got in mind for Prevent Blindness going forward in 2026?
Absolutely. This is going to be another busy year for us. We are about to launch early in the year. We'll be launching an awareness campaign. The purpose of that is to help reach more people, help more people understand who we are, and more importantly, the resources that we have for them. Along with that, we'll continue our stream of general awareness initiatives that we do throughout the year across diseases and across eye conditions. For example, January is National Glaucoma Month, so we'll be talking a bit about glaucoma all across the month of January. We'll also be busy in Washington. Again, we're going to be back at trying to pass the Children's Vision Bill. There's a very real potential that the cost of health insurance is going to rise dramatically for people all across the country. If that's the case, we're really worried what that means for eye health. If they can't afford their health insurance, we're certainly going to see gaps in people accessing eye care. So that's another one of our big challenges for the year. We also recently just launched a web resource on understanding insurance benefits and how they relate to your eyes. And so we'll continue to promote that. And finally, we're going to continue the work of our Aspect Patient Engagement Program, which is a really terrific way that we engage patients and caregivers and allies in advocating for improved eye care policy and education.
Okay. And along those lines, for folks who are hearing us for the first time, and if they want to find out more about Prevent Blindness or possibly get involved, where's the best place for them to start?
Well, the best place to start is our website, preventblindness.org. We're also active on almost all of the social media channels, so you can look for us there. We have a growing YouTube presence, so visit us on YouTube. But you can access all of those points through preventblindness.org. I would also encourage people, especially early in the year, as we are getting involved in National Glaucoma Month, to visit our glaucoma community. We have a special resource for the glaucoma community. So go to preventblindness.org, type in glaucoma community, and you'll find that resource as well.
All right, thank you. Now, you mentioned that January is National Glaucoma Month. Do you want to make any additional points about that to our listeners? Glaucoma being such a frequent occurrence as something that relates to people's vision care and possible vision loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Glaucoma is one of the most devastating conditions impacting people's eye health. The positive thing about glaucoma is if it's caught early, it's one of the more treatable conditions. So that's where early detection, understanding the importance of getting into your eye care and adhering to treatment is important. So National Glaucoma Month is really important to help increase education around this. We've developed a number of glaucoma videos that you can find in our video library on our website or on YouTube. And we also have a number of fact sheets and other information that people can download to help better educate their friends, their family, their communities about glaucoma.
All right. There it goes. A lot of good information we've got available at the website. Now, Jeff, one thing I'd like to just ask you to add, you're talking a lot about trying to get the word out, spreading the word. Word of mouth is one of the most powerful ways people get information. When they get it from a trusted source, it really matters. So to our listeners, if you could wish them to try to express one thing about Prevent Blindness to their friends and colleagues to maybe spark interest in them to check us out, what message would you suggest?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, Chris. I think one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is the fact that eye health is somewhat unique in that all of us at one point or another are going to have some form of some impact to our eyes. We're going to have some need for eye care, whether that's as basic as just needing to get a pair of glasses, all the way up to more severe challenges with vision and eye health. And so all of us are going to need eye care at one point or another. That's not necessarily true of other healthcare conditions. So I think it's a really good point to talk about is understanding with your friends, your neighbors, your community members, having those conversations about how eye health impacts them and how it impacts you. I think that opens the door to a lot of conversations, and we always encourage people then to point back to our resource for more information. I would just add that we're really excited about this Prevent Blindness Focus on Eye Health podcast. We're super excited. We're going into a second season. It was very well received in the first season. And so I think we're going to even have more information coming this year. So really appreciate you being a part of this, Chris.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. And it was a great being involved in the first season. And I believe, we've got some exciting things coming up. And thank you very much for helping us kick off the second season.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.